You can lose somebody's earnest money deposit in seconds.
My job was downsizing. They let go of like nearly 80% of the company. And I was like, damn, I'm next. You take your license and you go to the real estate school and you pretty much just learn how many square feet are in an acre.
Is it skill or mindset for agents that makes them successful? Like
Mindset mainly, because skill you can always learn. If your mindset is there, and I was doing 9 to 5 for a job that I hated, why would I not do it 9 to 5 for a job that I actually enjoy?
why do you think the agents that come and go or whatever fail being on your team?
You want to surround yourself with people talking about real estate every single day. They're all just too concerned about the interest rate, but they're not realizing that every single human is thinking the same thing.
I just shot 22 million.
It was last year at 47 units. I have 9 pending, 1 more within the next. He'll send a client 17 text messages without them answering. He'll call them 30 URs without them answering. If you get very confident at just showing $2,000 rentals, it's gonna feel a lot easier walking into $1 million home with a buyer.
I stopped doing open houses during COVID. Waste of time for me. I was like a security guard. There's like 100 people outside. Thank you guys for coming in. We're starting another episode here of the Loan Lounge. I'm here with Chris Rutledge and Ballazas.
You got it.
Thank God. All right, that was a tough one.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. These guys are part of the Damon Penn team with EXP. Awesome, man. So listen, I'm glad to have you guys here. We've done a few things in the past together. We've done some trips.
Yeah.
We've done some cold call sessions. We've done some trainings. So now it's time to have a little bit of fun and have people learn about you and your career.
Let's do it.
So let's start. How did you guys get into the business? Who wants to go in? Who wants to start?
How did we get into the business? That's a great question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we? You go first and then I'll tell my side? Or
Yeah, you go first. Is mine
More interesting. Interesting. I didn't know it was a more. I didn't know it was a we.
Mine is not that interesting. Chris started before I did. I used to have a old boring tech job before this, and I've always wanted to be a realtor. So that was something always in the back of my mind. I'm like, man, I love working with people. It'd be so cool to just go and see homes every day, and I've always thought about it, but it was never really serious. So one day my job was downsizing. They let go of like nearly 80% of the company, and I was like, damn, I'm next, and I was. So I was let go, and they gave me 3 months of severance pay. So I was like, you know what? In these 3 months, why don't I just go and do this? I'm going to have paychecks coming in and see what I can do. And I went and I got my license. And at that moment, a friend of ours was like, you should call Chris. He's a realtor, and see like if you can work together maybe, or if there's some connection there. And I called him, and at the time he was coming back from Washington. So he kind of gave me advice, and we had a good conversation on the phone, but we never really talked about working together. So then a couple days go by, we emailed back, and he was sending me very professional emails. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, we're friends. You don't have to be this whole. I was trying to take care of it and make sure. Trying to make sure you need to work. Yeah, you're professional.
Yeah, you're working with the best here.
So he's like, I'm gonna send you an invite on my calendar to have another call. I'm like, you could just call me. Shoot me a text.
So anyway, we got another call, and then I was like, hey, what about working together? And he was like, okay, well, I can set up an interview with you with Damon, and you can, talk to him and see how it goes. So I did. Interview went well, and here we are.
So real quick, since you mentioned, you've been with the Penn team since you got into real estate.
Absolutely.
So one question I'm going to ask you, a lot of people always ask, I'm sure there's a lot of other people out there.
Yeah.
And people think that the grass is greener on the other side.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? You being loyal to where you're at?
I honestly don't know if I could be where I'm at today if I had started as a solo agent, just because there's so much that goes into real estate. I mean, you take your license and you go to the real estate school, and you pretty much just learn how many square feet are in an acre,
Yeah, I was going to say, it's just like mortgage license. Anything here we don't really has nothing to do with the actual job.
So being able to be around professionals that have calls every single day I listen in, and even just listening to another realtor go through a deal, it's so much help. And I was able to absorb all that. And I honestly don't think I would have succeeded if I would have started out.
Yeah, that's a good message to any solo agent out there, because it's like being on an island. If you're not on a team,
Right.
It's literally like being on an island. We encourage our people in our office to come in, because new people come in and they feed off of the old people's energy, and they see what they're doing, to hear what they're saying, and just helps build. And honestly, it also, he might say something that you didn't know, and vice versa. So it's always something great to learn.
Absolutely. And even it doesn't matter how long you've been in the business. I learned from him, and I'm a few years more, seasoned. He learns from me. It's vice versa. We have agents in the office that have been in the office for 15, 20 years, and they learn from me. And we're all bouncing ideas off each other.
You know, the thing about this industry is you only learn as you go,
Yep.
right? There's only so much the textbook's going to teach you, but until you get out on the field and you hit hurdles and you hit walls and problems, you know, inspection issues, appraisal issues, you know, title issues, probate issues. Once you start hitting all those walls, I can't get insurance. That's where you get your experience. You know, it's crazy. So how'd you get into this, Chris? Let's hear your side.
Yeah, so mine's probably a little bit more interesting. I'm kidding. So I always wanted to start a business. I've run businesses before, restaurants for years, and you know, bars, restaurants, sports bars, high-end dining. So I've been on that spectrum where it's managing a business, managing employees, managing people. So I always loved that part of it. What I didn't like about that industry is my, you know, production or my results came from other people, right? Or employees, right? So what I loved about real estate, and I bought and sold myself and used a realtor. So I saw that part of it, you know, the emails and going under contract and negotiating and it just was like a rush for me.
Yeah.
So I felt really connected to it. And it was years before I even got into it that I wanted to do it. And I just kind of dabbled, looked it up, and, you know, I saw the money that you could potentially make, and that was obviously intriguing. And we always think we could make our own schedule too, right? Or working in restaurants, I would get home at 2, 3, 4 a.m.
That's a tough job.
Yeah, it was brutal. 60-hour work weeks, you know, that's pretty normal.
On your feet.
On your feet, 20,000 steps a shift. But so I was,
Snacking in between isn't great.
oh yeah, I still eat super fast till this day because you always had to eat things. I'm Bedlux, yeah. So I still eat that. I have to like slow it down. But all of that, I started, you know, really getting into real estate where I bought, sold, saw the process, and saw how easy it was to get a license. And then got the license and started on my own right away. So it felt like I was doing my own thing. I felt busy right away because what I was doing was, you know, setting up my profiles and doing this. So it was just, I felt connected to it. And it wasn't really like showing houses. I didn't really care for that too much. It was more so the business side of it, like running a business.
Gotcha. So, I mean, you guys now both work on the Penn team. You consider yourself a team inside the Penn team? Or are you guys an actual team together? Do you just help each other out? What's your kind of work relationship?
Well, we have a very close friendship and work with women. We've known each other for more than 15 years. We were in middle school. We grew up together. We lived on the same street for a while. I used to be taller than him.
So crazy. And he's probably 6, so think about that.
It was like, you guys were like 9? Yeah, about 6th grade. Yeah.
How's this boy? Duh. But yeah, we work very close together. I mean, we have our separate clients, but we do share an office within our office.
Help each other out.
We assume each other out.
So, like, if you can't make something, you guys will fill in for each other.
Absolutely. If we need to pass a client because we're too busy, we do that, and we do open houses together. We follow up with clients together.
You guys have some pretty good social media together.
That's true. That as well. We've done pretty well with the social media videos.
You guys have some funny videos. I know we had that one we invented on the plane on the way to was this trip. That was pretty.
And that was an impromptu one. And some places those do the best.
Those are great. I still like the one where you're deep on the HOA. It's on the best carpet.
Yeah, we know HOAs around here.
Yeah, no, nobody does, right? So that's awesome. And so you guys work together. Is there something that you would say that you're more skilled at, that you do better than he does, or vice versa? Ballazas, is there something better that you do that Chris doesn't do as well?
I would say that he is amazing at following up with clients. And he'll follow up to the point where it looks like he's a crazy stalker.
So let me stop you there real quick. What do you use to follow? What's your system?
Okay, so in our office, we have a massive board of all our clients.
Good.
So
you're a visual guy.
I'm a visual guy, 100%. So I have a massive board of all of our clients. He has the same thing, Matt, you know, huge board, all the clients, hot, warm, cold, all our pending deals. And then I have an additional board on my desk with the even hotter clients that are on my radar on daily. And then furthermore, on my text messages, I pin all my top clients.
So let me ask you, so you see his system, why are you struggling to do it like he does it?
I think it's more the fact that he'll send a client 17 text messages without them answering. He'll call them 30.
You're a little bit in there
without them answering, and to the point where I just feel like I'm intruding at some point. I'm like, man, these people want nothing to do with me, and I get to a point where I just stop. He keeps going after.
You know what? I'll tell you what. You know what? One of the things that I do, because I kind of feel like you. I'll go for 3 days. Yeah. And then on the last day, I'm like, hey, listen, if it's something you don't want to talk about, it's fine. I don't want to keep bothering you. Like I kind of do like a little guilt text and like, oh, no, I just been busy. Or they say, yeah, I'm not ready right now. And then But 17, let's go for it, man.
Yeah. But I know his point, because it's like we're almost intruding somebody, right? Text messages, calls. So
But they put their hand up, so I don't know.
yeah, and they're usually warm. Yeah, leads.
They put their hand up.
Fire sellers.
You're not just texting you out of the phone book, are you?
Right. Not right now. Yeah.
Okay.
right.
All right. So you'd say follow up is your main thing he does other than the book.
Yes, and I would say his regiment. He comes in the office every day, 9 to 5. You know, provided he has showings, appointments, and all that. But he treats it like a job. And in this business, you need to treat it like a job.
Your team lead, Damon Van, and I say this at all my events and all my speeches and everything I talk to. I love one of the things Damon said. I had him on a panel 2 years ago, and what he said is that people get into real estate, and it was on one of my first podcasts, because they want to create their own schedule.
Yeah.
And it's the craziest thing. If you think back at it, it's like you work for somebody, you gave them 40, 50 hours a week consistently, no problem, but you won't give it to your own business.
Right.
What I loved about what you first said was, this is a business and you're 100%. We all have our own individual business. Now, do you have collaboration in your business? Absolutely. Just like I collaborate with real estate agents, you guys collaborate with each other, you collaborate with me. We have partnerships inside of it, right? And relationships, but it's 100% a business. You have to treat it like a business. Once you grasp that concept, and which is great, you have a regiment. I have the same thing. I have a regiment. I'm at the office every single day, 8:15, like the latest.
Right.
And that's just my regiment, especially it's quiet time of the morning that he's here. So I'm like, bam. But I'm here every single day because I can't work from home. So that's a great thing. That's a great habit. We talk a lot about time blocking. Yeah. So I'm big on time blocking.
And I figured too, I was like, I was doing 9 to 5 for a job that I hated. Why would I not do it 9 to 5 for a job that I actually enjoy?
I think that's one of the things that I was going to say, talking point, that's awesome. And then you actually had something that a lot of people struggle with. You had a paycheck for 90 days to get started.
Yeah.
And in real estate, you just can't jump out of a job into the water and do it.
Right.
I've interviewed other people in the past and friends that they go into debt when they start in real estate, which is, if you're going to commit to it and go into debt, do it. It's like one of those things you just can't like play around it. And one thing that I personally am not a fan of is agents that are like weekend or part-time agents.
Yeah.
It's tough on the client. It's tough on us as a lending perspective because they can't answer the phone during hours or something goes wrong. And I've had clients that miss opportunity. This is to me a full-time job. I treat this as, I do more than 40 hours. You guys know weekends, nights. You guys know how that is. We're always available.
Always.
I had an agent I called yesterday and she said, can you please text me on that work? So that's just like, I guess.
Yeah. So or yeah, except I do real estate. Right. It's a tough thing. It's like I notice like the people like, everybody has in our careers, we all have people we see. I know I have people that I'm chasing down, right? I want to grow my company to 1,000 transactions a month, or excuse me, a year. And I know what I'm looking at, those people aren't doing it as their second job. The people that are blowing me out of the water, then thankfully we're doing well, but this is their full-time gig. Like you can't win in real estate, right, and do this part-time.
Exactly. It's just hard in the beginning for a lot of agents because I know for a fact my first 3 months, I made $0. So for someone who needs to make money right out the gate, it's very hard. But
I tell people that it's in mortgages, it's a 90-day talent.
Right.
It takes you 90 days to get somebody to trust you, to send them a deal, to send you a deal. And then you've got to really massage it and understand it.
I told myself, I was like, listen, the beginning is going to be the hardest it'll ever be in this business, right? So you just got to have patience and you got to give yourself time.
One thing that I'll say that I'll tell you, which is great, is that you guys both are on the same team and you work on the same place. Some people think that they start somewhere and maybe if they are on an island by themselves solo, but jumping around from place to place to place isn't the solution, right? Sometimes, a lot of people do a lot of finger pointing and really you should do some thumb pointing.
Well, then see, they look at it with people getting jobs and they have this huge resume with all these different companies they work for. They have, I think at some point it's like self-reflection. Like, okay, what am I doing while I have this job that's not allowing me to, climb the ladder?
Correct. Yeah, that's awesome. So who's the more organized one, would you say? And who's maybe more aggressive? Sounds like to me that probably Ballazas is probably a little more organized.
I feel like our organization's pretty fluid, pretty even. Yeah. And I know the rest of this, obviously it's you.
It just depends. I'm more aggressive with follow-up, but we're both aggressive when we're negotiating for clients. Like we go to bat, we'll negotiate that $20,000-$30,000 credit that we need to, that the seller or the seller agent's going to be like, what are you talking about? Like he had a deal. It was like there was a couple of doors that were messed up and he got them $5,000 for a couple of doors that were probably $300. So we negotiate hard and we're aggressive. So I would say organization, we both have our clients that we follow up with. He has a great scorecard within our team. we have a CRM, and we get like percentage wise and how it's all laid out with the follow up. He has a great score.
Does that, let me ask you, because you guys have scorecards and teams, so we have it here too. Is that something that drives you? Do you like seeing your name on top? Do you like being, is that the motivating factor?
It is a motivating factor for me. It's volume and units. The scorecard,
Like, I'll get paid on volume. So.
right, right. So scorecard is a driving factor because I always want to be the best at everything I do. But I already know how I'm organized, with follow up. So I don't really need to, rely on percentages for that.
So you guys have seen people come and go on your team, I'm sure.
Yes.
Why do you think the agents that come and go or whatever fail being on your team? You guys are very successful on the Penn team. Why are people failing?
I just don't think they utilize everything that they have at their disposal. I don't think they're not showing up enough. I would say, especially for new agents, you should be in the office every day. That's one thing that they don't do. In the beginning, I see it when come in and it tapers off. But you want to surround yourself with people talking about real estate every single day. You want to learn something every single
Yeah, things start becoming more important to coming into the office. And that's where the problem is.
Right.
You say, oh, I have to go to the gym, or, oh, I've got to pick up my dry cleaner. Oh, my kid hit this. That, you couldn't do that on a regular Mac 5.
Well, and another thing, too, that I'll add is a lot of agents are thinking they're going to come into real estate and sell $1 million homes right off the gate. They don't want to take the hard stuff in the beginning that's going to make them a little bit of money.
So that's a great point. I know you started out doing rentals, right? More rentals than purchases. So how did that train you feel? Like, did that?
Well, I was sitting in the office for 3 months and I was not going on showings, and I was really just only getting a couple of clients here and there. I remember I met a lady at an open house and Chris was joking. He was just like, how's your one client that you spend every single day on with following up?
He was laser focused. Follow up our client.
Did you close?
No, it ended up.
That just shows the list Gary puts into it, right? It's like, and I would say to all of this, the expectations that realtors have, like he spoke on, they think they're going to come in and make all this money, but all they have to do is a little bit of a piece of him and a piece of me, show up to the office every single day and follow the clients every single day. That's it.
So if you were joining a team, a good advice would be hey, find people that are producing on the team and do what they're having.
Just listen to their conversations. And I would encourage an agent to just do anything at the beginning. If you get a lead for a $1,500 rental, take it. If you get a lead for a $98K condo that they want to sell, take it. Because the best thing that you can do is experience, is showing up to a house, being with a client, opening a door, showing it, and just going through that process, because you're going to get more and more confident. So if you get very confident at just showing $2,000 rentals, it's going to feel a lot easier walking into $1 million home with a buyer and being able to go through the same process,
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree with that. And I think also too, it's like, practice makes perfect in this, right? Any professional athlete, they're constantly practicing. Anything you have to do, you have to constantly practice. And yes, it might not be the commission you might want, but taking a rental and learning how to, work with the client, communicate with the client, that's going to help you learn. So when you do get that $1 million core listing,
and it grows your skills, it grows your confidence. Confidence is the biggest thing in the business, because, if you're with a realtor, you can tell immediately if they're confident.
So funny, because I was going to ask you, is it skill or mindset for agents that makes them successful? Like, what do you think it is?
Oh, it's definitely both, right? Skill.
I think mindset mainly, because skill you can always learn. If your mindset is there and you're dedicated to learning every single day, your skill is going to follow.
It's Thursday. You can definitely learn if you're on a team. Solo agents probably have a little bit of a tougher time.
Yeah.
Right. These guys that are at these 100% commission models.
Right.
And listen, that might be great when you're 20 years in the business, but I feel like when you're starting out, you've got to start somewhere. I mean, I started working for a retail bank in 2000, and where I was literally just cold calling, learning off of people to learn how to do mortgages. That's how I learned. You just didn't say, I'm going to get my mortgage license and hey, guess what? Now I'm going to be a broker owner.
Right.
And we're going to close 500 loans a year.
Right.
It's not going to happen. You got those steps.
In terms of the skill set, you do have to have something to start with, right? Because you're going to be meeting clients every single day, and you have to be personable. You have to be someone they want to work with. And I think that's the biggest key, because when I first started, I knew absolutely nothing about this process, but I was very good with people. So if I sat there and I was able to retain clients because I'd have very nice conversations with them, and I was someone they felt comfortable with and enjoy working with. Yeah. So I think that is very important too. If you don't have that skill set with like talking to people, you definitely want to.
And we always make a joke that everybody at some point in their life should work restaurants,
right?
Because it's a high paced environment. You have to think on your feet and you have to speak to people on the daily. no matter how you're feeling, you got to show up and
I started in a restaurant.
yeah. So you understand. I mean, yeah,
I did when I was younger. I was in restaurants at a coffee house, and I worked at a restaurant. They opened a restaurant. Yeah, I was not a great waiter. I spilled a lot of stuff.
but you definitely learned some skills.
As in juggling things, multi-type,
Lower type. It was yeah.
Feet, not forgetting people. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I definitely took all of that and all those skills, just like he did, and brought it into our business now. You know, we learned all that life experiences, getting our butts kicked, and just incorporating all that.
So we talked about all the skills and the team stuff. Let's talk about like things that people are doing today. So like there's two big topics out there: social media, AI. Social media. Let's start with that. You guys have done a few social media clips that are hysterical. I know people think that they do social media, and I preach it all the time. You can't just do it for like a week and let it go. You can't do it for a month and let it go. My whole vision for social media is one vision. I want to hear your opinion on social media. Has it helped your business? Do you think it's helped people see you? So like, let's start with you. What do you think about your social media game?
I'll be honest. Before I was on the team, I was a solo agent for about 6 months. My first 2 deals were from social media.
Okay.
And my first client, I was showing rentals to, like a $2,000 rental, but I would post about it. I'd show on stories on Instagram that what I was doing, showing a client a property, posting about real estate. And I had somebody, an old friend, or actually an old employee of mine, reach out saying that the dad is looking to sell, and that he has some concerns, and that they wanted a trust.
And they trust her here.
Yeah, they trusted me because I ran businesses for them and I was their boss. So I ended up getting that appointment, getting the listing.
And they probably thought that you were doing real estate because they saw you on social media.
Absolutely. They saw me posting frequently. They saw me
Top front.
And my second listing came from door knocking in the neighborhood. So I count that for social media because what I did, it'll story for you there.
Yeah, tree branch.
Yeah. And then to this day, yeah, we're really big on our funny videos.
Yeah.
We get a lot of, attention from
They're entertaining.
agents across the nation. So we look at that as like they're studying us as a human to human thing. And yeah, referral, exactly.
Referral source. Yeah, it is a big referral source. Your social media, some of the stuff is hilarious. I know you did one with one of my guys where someone was left in the trunk.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I think you're left in the trunk. I with George. That was great.
It left me in there for about an hour.
But we did our playing one, which was great. I love Rachel. I mean, you guys have had some great videos, but you also have good ones. Like I saw you guys at the big mansion. You guys had yangs.
We try to mix it up. We try to do some with like really nice professional, showing off homes, and then ones that were funny and more personable.
Yeah. It's funny. Like I've been trying to figure out what's the percentage, right? Like what should be great, what should be personal. I've been toying with it big time the last 90 days. So like I'm trying to do like 80-20.
Yeah.
80% funny,
Yeah.
engaging, and 20%, hey, just so you know, I still do mortgages that I know I'm doing.
Yeah, I think that's
I think that's really what happens. Because if you're like, I tell people, like, mortgages aren't sexy. Like they're not fun to watch. Not everybody won't care. Yeah, they're not engaging. It's like, oh great, there he is talking about mortgages again. Swipe, or oh my god, look at these guys dancing in the office. How dumb is this? Right? That's a better one for me. So that's awesome. And how about you with social media? You enjoy doing it?
I love doing it. That's one of my things I'm very passionate about. I should do more because I'm very creative. A lot of the stuff that we do.
Why didn't you're so regimented? Let's go get it on the books, man.
Right.
Tag him on the calendar and like
he's building an empire right now.
I mean,
no, but for sure, I definitely want to do more of it. I love doing it. I actually had buyers that I worked with last year who said it was just a call for our office, and they gave it to me like, hey, they're looking for an agent to help them purchase. And I had a great conversation with them. And once we closed, she told me, listen, one of the reasons that we ended up going with you is because we looked through your Instagram and we were so impressed with everything we saw.
Yeah, so that's huge. So, Instagram reviews, all links together. And it's funny, it's like, I have a customer right now under contract who literally called me about a vacation. I'm like, I see you're always at Lake Placid. Where is that? And I refer her to the agent workers over there. She bought a house this week.
Love it.
And it's just one of those things, like, because they see you're doing stuff. I mean, the business comes from social media. I think it's the cheapest way to get in front of a big audience.
Yeah.
Besides me hosting events and trying to get 100 realtors in a row,
Right.
I can reach thousands of people.
Yeah.
I just get, and it's crazy because I still haven't figured out like what sets off some of these videos. Some of these videos get like 30,000 views. I'm like, whoa. And then some of you like 800, which you think are going to be the best.
I know. We've gone through that trial and error. I mean, we've had videos that do like 2,000 in views and we thought it was going to go viral. Yeah. And we did
I thought our airplane mode was going to go. I thought that was it.
Chris and I did one at an open house where it was just absolutely nobody was showing up. So we're like, let's just think of an idea. We filmed it in 3 minutes and it got 330K views.
Yeah.
And we were just like, we had zero intention of it.
Oh yeah, it was all impromptu.
So if any agent, team or not team or whatever, you think social media is a pretty big thing.
Oh, absolutely. And if you're not doing it now, you're behind.
Yeah, absolutely. So the next one, I'm going to start with Ballazas, is AI. AI is like a big deal, and people are really like diving deep into this. And I actually just built my first, I don't know if you would call it a bot, or I don't even know what you would call it, but I was working with Claude and I built something that we have a leaderboard now in the office, and it accesses our system and it goes back and forth and sends each other's, when the numbers come in and a deal funds. And so now we have a live leaderboard that these guys get notifications anytime someone has a loan fund. So now we have a little competition going, which is great. I felt really complete when I got it done. It took me like 4 hours, but I was like, wow, this is awesome. I'm using it to and that was something I used to do manually. So now that's out of my life. We're
Automated it, yeah.
automated it. So that's what I'm looking at, is automate process. What are you using AI for?
Want to go for that one?
He was first. I just looked up.
Yeah, I mean, we have AI put into our CRM, so a lot of times for follow-up, we have that where the AI just takes over.
Is it like a guy saying, hey, you call?
It's a person just following up, like, hey, what are you interested? Are you looking in this city? And then once we get an actual answer, it hands it off to us.
You? Oh, that's
Sorry.
cool.
Yeah, so that's probably one of the main ones. I mean, I personally would use it for things that I just don't need to use it for. I would use it to make flyers and all that, but our team does that already. And sometimes it's just a lot better if it's being on this time. Yeah, for sure. So sometimes it's very simple. I want to write some sort of a nice letter. I do this for my rentals where I submit an offer and I just give a quick breakdown of the family and highlight all the things. And I just go to ChatGPT, type in 2 sentences. Hey, make this sound professional, and then it spits out.
You're doing it longer than I do. I talk to it. I literally click to my phone. I spit and I talk right at it because it's faster.
We learned that at Rush again.
Yeah, I talk to it. Those long prompts are huge. Those long prompts are really big. I would definitely say that.
I'll say lots of the time.
I'll touch on AI a little bit more. So also, when you go on a listing appointment and talking to a seller, you want to really wow them. So you want to show them all these different tools that you are offering that other agents aren't, because most agents are way behind. They probably have like some packet or something and it has this and that. But what I like to do is show them our CRM and what the AI is doing. It's reaching out to clients, buyers in our database of 50, 60,000 people on our website searching, and it shows what AI is doing. So it's actually sending properties to buyers.
Oh, really?
Our AI system is more advanced than probably 99% out there because we're a partner with Place and we have Riveting.
Huge.
But also there's a tool with RPR. If agents don't know about this, you can price out properties with AI and it will literally give you, do you want to go under market value, at market value, above market value, prints out a 70-page report to price out a property. Now that's not going to be the end all be all report. You want to have a few, you want to show them about valuations from Zillow and this and that just to get baseline. But all these other reports that you can do, this AI one just does it for you. You don't even need to create a CMA and start putting it together and wasting, 3 hours. You have one tool to use to price out properties. And I think that's huge.
So what I'm hearing for you guys, are using it to streamline your task, automate things, make it faster so you can really give your client more attention, more efficiency. So I just want to ask you guys, because I know you guys both do these open houses. How are you guys deciding on open house? How do you decide if you're working together? Do you like doing open house? Because I know some agents are like against it. I know I have my feelings on open house. I love open house. First weekend up, you tee it up the right way. I think it's great. I'll say it on camera. I don't love if you have a listing for like 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and you're constantly doing open house. You're asking me to come every weekend. It's a little stale. So what's your open house game plan? What do you guys? What's that work for you? How's that work?
Yeah, open houses are absolutely amazing. Every agent should be doing it. If you're new, start with open house.
How many signs are you putting out?
Probably like 15. I should put out 30. 30 is probably where you need to be.
Wow.
Yeah, we actually used AI to. We had an agent on our team that showed us the open houses sign. He put like 5 on. That's just this one spot, which is great. And then he made an AI picture of it, and then there was like 100 open house signs, and then I added on to it, and then it was like open house signs like hanging and a guy flipping and really like car accidents. Hilarious. So we joked around with that, but definitely I would say minimum 20 signs. It really depends on the property, but you need to be putting a ton of signs.
And how many hours are you in open house?
I 3 is good, but I like 2 because it really minimizes the amount of time people can get to the property, creates a little bit of demand. Because if you have it spread out 4 hours, you're like, oh, I'll just go to it in a couple hours, and then something happens and they're like, oh, let's just go to the beach. and then they don't end up showing up. I like 2 hours, so they're like, let's get there.
Yeah, we used to do 3 all the time, and then we realized nobody showed up during the last hour, so we just cut it.
Or the first hour, even sometimes. Right, either or. Yeah, I like shorter timeline. I agree with that. I like it to create. I believe emotion creates emotion. So when like you're in there by yourself, you're like, oh, nobody really likes this house or whatever. I can probably get a good deal. But if there's like 4 families in there and you have an inkling to make an offer on it, you're like, oh man, I better write this out before you show on there. I'm not going to get it.
Exactly.
So I like creating that. How are you collecting people's data? What are you doing with the data from the open house? Like someone comes in, what do you do with that? What's your
Yes, we have a sign-in sheet for that. We let the
local paper?
Old school paper. We have a QR code they can sign in. It goes to our database with our information. But I like to connect and say, hey, here's a sign-in sheet. Go ahead and put your accurate information. This is the seller's request to make sure they know everybody coming through and you can follow up.
I got a realtor tells me things. You got to list selling over not having a party.
Yeah, most people sign.
Very recently, the people don't sign it. You know what? People say they don't sign, they don't ask.
Yeah.
It's that that's
Weird thing Chris hates during too, so he's always like, Ballazas, get him, yeah, right? Yeah, sign in.
It's like I'll do the talking and talking about the market and all that.
How do you guys prep for the open house? Like, so, like I know, I've seen people do it. Some people go to an open house and they don't know anything about the property, or they don't know the neighborhood, or they don't know the schools. It's like, let me find out, right?
Right.
Like, are you guys in there? Like, is
That we know up front already. We always want to make sure we know even all the main things. We know the age of the roof, age of the AC, like all the main things about the house. We want to know. We want to do our research. Chris is in an open house and he door knocked the day before.
Yeah, 50 houses.
Yeah. So that helps generate, more and more just curiosity and see if maybe some of the neighbors will stop by.
So you guys are in this market every day. You're meeting buyers at open houses. You're dealing with buyers from your lead flow. What are buyers getting wrong right now? What do you think buyers are missing out on? Because there's a large amount of inventory, right? Larger than normal. I'm seeing a large percentage of seller concessions right now.
Yeah.
So I guess we're going to call this a buyer's market.
Yeah.
Right? We're more than a seller's market. We're mostly the buyer's market. What are they missing? What do you think? What do you think?
Anyways, they think it's 2008 because we have much more inventory than, let's say, 3 years ago. There was 500,000 homes nationwide. Now we're creeping up over 1 million. So definitely, what is that? Double. So, but there's a caveat to that. There's a lot of bad inventory. Just because you're getting flooded with inventory in the market doesn't mean it's good inventory. There's a lot of bad houses out there, bad condition, different prices. Overprice is the main one. So when a good property pops up, it's getting swiped within a week. Sometimes even hours to a day right now. I'm seeing in the 800 and 900 range, let's say Coral Springs, these really nice homes that I see every single day pop up within minutes are going under contract that day or the next, getting multiple offers. So buyers are thinking it's 2008. Sellers are mostly thinking it's COVID, right? Where you kind of just compress it at any point.
Yeah, that's over. Yeah, that part's over. Yeah, I mean, listen, we all lived it. It was wild. What do you think buyers in this and Ballazas?
I think they're all just too concerned about the interest rates. So they're just seeing that the interest rate is high, saying we're going to sit and wait, but they're not realizing that every single human is thinking the same thing.
And then to put it in perspective for people, like a year and a half ago, they were like at 7.
Right.
Now we got rates almost a point lower.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, I can get something at a high 5, low 6. Like they want to see for
They want to set rate. Exactly.
And I just don't see that. I mean, listen, if it happens, awesome. We're all going to have a great, it'll be an awesome time. And people that buy today can refinance and avoid the price hike because that's what will happen. I mean, historically, the way I tell people, I'm like, I agree with you. I would love to see the rate come down to 3. But when it came down to 3, prices went up 20, 30% right. So buy it now and then refinance later. I think a lot of people miss that opportunity.
Yeah. Are you more okay with waiting for it to drop to 3% and then paying $100K extra for the home, or just paying a little?
And also having your pick of the litter, right? And how many people bought during COVID because they were like making 20 offers in a week, and nothing was coming through for them. So they just bought whatever they could get their hands on. Right? It was like shopping for hurricane supplies. I mean, that's what I attribute it to. Like I saw it. I went to a couple open houses. I stopped doing open houses during COVID. Waste of time for me. I was like a security guard. There's like 100 people outside. Yeah. And I was like, what are we doing here? I mean, one of my open houses, cops came and shut it down. The police came. They were like, yeah, you guys have to close this down. And they were like, it's COVID. And I'm like, well, I got a mask on. Like, what do I do this stuff? We had sanitizer. We were letting people in groups. I literally played security. And it was nuts. It's just something I can't understand.
Yeah. Unhealthy market then.
unhealthy market. So it's vice versa. Now we talk about buyers. What about sellers? What are sellers missing out to? What are sellers? What advice do you tell sellers, or how do you think, a seller that's hesitant to list, or what they're looking for, is out of reach?
Well, I think one of the main issues with sellers is that they bought their home and they're locked into the 3% rate. So they're going to have to sell and come to the realization that now when they're buying, the rate's going to be more than double that.
Yeah.
So, having that conversation, and even Damon just did it himself. He just settled and he got the well, yeah, they have to just, or there you go. But yeah, you just have to get past that realization that it's probably not going to be 3% again.
Are you finding that people are selling now because they have to sell?
Yes. I think listen in like more.
Yeah.
I think we're seeing more of people who are getting divorced, a death in the family, or they're having children. They absolutely need to move. I think those are the jobs relocation.
I mean, honestly, like my kids 25. My daughter's going off to college now. We don't need such a big home, but it's cheaper for me now to downsize.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not as expensive.
Right. What we're talking about right now is the lock-in effect. But I am seeing it ease a little bit because people are, they bought that home in 2020 and they're like, maybe they were rushing to it and they had the rose-colored glasses, like, finally they can get a house and they got it. But then they're seeing like, man, I really needed that extra bedroom. I really, really wanted that pool. So they're starting to think like, okay, maybe it's okay for me to get that 6% now. I'll lose the 3% and just get what I really want. So I'm seeing that ease a little bit, which is great because then more homes are coming onto the market.
So do you prefer working with buyers or sellers?
Man, I always get asked that question. I love both. I love listing a house and getting, my cellular net proceeds, but I love showing a house and I love being that expert that I can, really be the professional for my client to make the best decision for their long-term investment. So I'm probably like 50-50 on it.
How about you, Ballazas?
I prefer buyers. I'll just say that because it's just more satisfying, right? Like you're helping a family buy their first.
That's the experience we get.
Yeah,
With the mortgage guy. Like I would get the listing signed up, right? So I agree with you. When you hand them the keys or
exactly.
Especially when you hear someone like, I've been trying for 3 years.
Right.
And then they get with the right person. That's one of the things I didn't even get to touch on. But like, you'll work in open house. And one of the questions I always ask when I work in open house with agents is, so how long have you been in the market? And they're like, oh, like a year or 2 years. I'm like, whoa, I'm like, what's going on?
That's a longer time.
I'm like, why are you in the market so long? Like, whoa, we tried once or twice. And like, I just talked to somebody today, like, yeah, they tried to put us in hometown heroes, but we make too much money. And I'm just like, yeah, they're just working with the wrong people.
Exactly.
Clients right now, they really need to do their due diligence, in my opinion. Real estate's like the biggest transaction that anybody will ever make. It doesn't matter if you're a millionaire or you're just a working class, middle class person. It's still the largest thing you're going to buy. Unless you're, millionaire on it, please, or something. But personal stuff, housing is the best. It's the biggest. So, and it's a wealth tool. People really have to look at that. So you really want to work with someone. This is a dangerous business in real estate. You can lose somebody's earnest money deposit in seconds. And I think people don't realize that. So it's really important to work with professionals, work with someone you like, but also work with a professional. So last question I want to ask you guys about this, and then we're going to hit some fun stuff. 2026, obviously we're Q2 already. From, let's just say 2025, what do you think is the biggest change you've made this year? Let's start with Ballazas first.
Biggest change?
Biggest change in your business.
I think
something you were doing now that you weren't doing before.
I'll answer in a different way.
Okay.
I think one of the biggest changes I've had this year is I'm working with a lot of my past clients now. I didn't have that in the beginning, and I told myself in the beginning, listen, let me just try to do as many deals as possible. I don't care what I'm going to get paid on it, and I want to build a foundation.
So you're working your past clients, which is your database.
Basically, yeah.
So and you're getting some fruit from that labor?
Yes. So this is like the first time now where I'm starting to get consistent business from people just calling me like, hey, someone I helped rent 2 years ago, call me this week.
Yeah, I went to a conference in January. Yeah. Therapy was talking. He was just like, hey, he's like, you want to increase your business 20% this year?
Right.
Easy, call your database.
Yeah.
And this is one of the main steps that agents just don't do. Like you just assume that they, listen, everybody knows we all have a CRM. We all get a little spam mail and we all get that little, happy birthday. But unless you pick up the phone and talk to them,
yeah,
it's so crazy. That's awesome. That's a great point. How about you, 2026? What was your big change?
Definitely focusing on listings. I've been calling a lot of sellers, and I've been booking appointments and getting lists.
Expireds or what?
No, just we have a large database, 60,000 people. We get a lot of leads in. So I'm constantly always working on my skill to convert these people to get appointments to then work with you.
You think when you get in front of them, it's like 9 out of 10 you're getting?
If I've seen a listing go live and I scope to that person, I know it didn't go to me because I didn't meet with them. I'm so confident to walk into a room and know they're working with the best when I show them our marketing, our negotiation skills. I just know, once they see all of that, they see my personality, I'm going to come in there and give them the best strategy. And that's what I'm.
That customer, and one thing I'll tell people is you're not only going to get the confidence, but if you're doing the consult.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't get back confidence is, 3 months in, 6 months in, and then there's no, especially if you're out there solo on your own, it's hard.
A lot of the times too is we'll go together on some listing appointments, and just so they can see that, hey, you're not just hiring one realtor, you're hiring an entire operation.
All right, so since you guys work together, you got a couple fun ones. So which one of you guys gets more stressed out when something goes wrong on a deal? Who stresses it out, overthinks it, freaks out?
Yeah, it's funny because he cares so much. He wants to make sure his client's taken care of so well. But when those moments happen, he's pacing in the office. So oh, I know. Yeah, it's either with the phone he's pacing, having a conversation, or he's just pacing without any call. He's just thinking about it.
All right, well, at least he's not at the bar or something.
Yes, guys, in the office where he is all day. Sorry.
All right, that's good. That was just like, dude, everything's going to be okay.
All right, don't worry. I like rolling. It's going to be all right.
So moves faster and answering a client.
Speed of the lead. I think, we're always on our phone. We jump on things. Like, we always get leads in the chat. It's either me or him picking it up.
You guys are speed like right away.
We are.
Are you fastest in the office?
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. I like speed to lead's a big deal. I've been in a lot of those, online internet leads, and I feel like sometimes back in the day when I was like a Zillow pool was wild, they'd be like, all right, suppose it's like 4 people. I'm like, dude, it's only been 2 minutes.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's either me or him getting those like quick live calls.
Okay. Chris gave a whole presentation on speed to lead this morning.
Yeah.
Did you?
I did.
And?
Oh, it's great.
Did they receive it?
I did it as a mastermind so we can all pick things from each other because we all think differently, right? So I wanted to make sure,
what's your speed to lead tactic? Call, text, email?
First it's the call, then it's an audio text. That's my business card. There's another text.
How about you?
I just call them a text.
You know what? One of my clients who's really successful, they send a video text.
Yeah, so that's great.
And I know it's really, and I'm glad you're getting in front of the camera. Hopefully it keeps, you guys are doing social media. Dude, the video texting works.
Yeah.
It's working for people. Mm-hmm. All right. So that's a good one. You guys go to the gym together?
Oh, we used to back at that end of the day.
You don't do anymore together?
Be behind.
Yeah, well, always there. You just gotta come and.
We go at different times. So
You live pretty far.
I was gonna ask, stronger. Which one of you guys are stronger?
Surely.
Well, it depends. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. Right. And are you guys both now? You've been in the Penn team. Do you have any, I guess, aspirations of like what your future looks like? Are you thinking about maybe growing a team within your team? Like what's your future plan?
I mean, I feel like we work so well together. We love being on the Penn team. Like him and I, like we were a Penn team. Sure.
You're happy, Eamon?
Yeah. We represent this brand and we feel like it's our own brand too.
Yeah.
Like it's Damon Penn. And it's funny when he answers, he's like, this is Damon Penn from the Penn team. Like it's my title. But,
and we're the Penn pals.
Yeah. We're the Penn boys. So yeah, we're all about the Penn team and the brand, but within the team, yeah, sure. Like we love working together. And
I mean, I feel like these guys have a lot of knowledge and it might be something that you should, you explore.
And when we're doing open houses together, like we absolutely crush it. Like when we're talking to a client, like 2-on-1, I'm talking about the market. He's connecting with them on a human level. It's just such a perfect balance that they're just like.
You guys aren't fighting over the leads after because that's what we
No, we don't care. Well, whenever we do that, like we do an open house together, it's not like, oh, you get this person, you get this person. It's like, we'll work it together.
They're like a round robin or anything. So
it's just.
So it's one of the yes. Yeah. That's awesome. So weekends. Well, one question for you guys. You guys are all is there a day and you're like, I'm off this day no matter what? Or are you on 24/7?
Yeah, 24/7. I mean, we have our days where we're.
Yeah, it's 24/7. I try my best to get as much of my work done during the week so that I can enjoy family time on the weekend. Normally what happens is 1 or 2 slip through and I do a showing. Maybe I try to just knock it out in the morning. and I try to get all my stuff done as fast as I can. But
It changes.
sometimes we're just slammed on weekends.
You know, the way I look at it is I tell people, because we're always on, right? Like if you guys call me for an up, you guys call one of my team members on the Saturday, like of course, you were at a bar mitzvah
The other day, and you gave me a pre-approval.
yeah. Well, on technology's there. And, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you're off, but then you have that time where it's like 2 or 3 or 4 days. We're still like, right. So it's like there's no real schedule, but people are trying to, you know, make one. You have to just do your stuff consistently during the week. Like you said, you know, listen, for me in our schedule, Monday through Thursday, we go hard. Fridays are like a half day for us because it's not I'd rather you know, run your errands, just be available on your phone in case there's a problem. And then obviously weekends, you know, we're doing the open houses and trying to help you guys as a part.
And one thing I'll add to that is, even though I say I try to get it all done, like no matter what time it is, I'm always answering my phone. So if a client calls me on the weekend, I'm not going to be like, whoa, I don't work weekends, so I'm not going to answer. It's like I always answer the calls. I write people back, and
I established that with clients. I'm not a banker or a 9 to 5er. Like if I'm awake, if it's 8:30 and something's bothering you, text me, and if I'm up, or I'll return your call. You know,
We understand how important this is, right? I mean, this is like we just been saying, the biggest decision, the biggest asset they own, and you know, we're going to be there for them through the whole way. And that means answering questions at 8, 9 o'clock.
I forgot to ask you guys in the very beginning. So what was your best year in real estate? What volume units? What was your biggest?
Last year, for sure, I just shot 22 million.
Wow. Wow. That's a nice number. Very good. Congrats.
And my best year was last year. I had 47 units.
47 units. Wow.
He's got 10. He's about to hit 10 pending.
Right now, I have 9 pending now. I should have 1 more within the next.
So you guys are definitely in the office every single day. Yes. You know, it's funny. We'll close with this. A lot of people, you know, in my industry too, I see some people that are not doing as well. They're just either level. They may have lost a little bit. They're not growing. We're in a growing phase, which is great for me. Great for you guys. Sounds like you guys are on the same track. You're going up. I think the differences are just your actions. I think it's really, what are you doing differently? You know, whatever is, I guess you're not scared to try things, right? So like, and I think the biggest thing that you guys will hit on is the schedule. I think that if you're putting in the time, it's going to happen. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited for 2026. I'm excited to keep working with you guys. Likewise. You know, onto these great trips and stuff that we do. We have a lot of time together. Yes, sir. We always have a good time. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Really appreciate it. And thank you guys for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Let's do it again. Love the low lounge, man. Yeah, quite the setup over here.
Thank you. We'll do it again for sure.